Seeds. Are they organic? Your organic seed search, we got that. Purchased inputs, anything you're bringing onto your farm, information about them, ingredients, receipts, tags. Your seed search record, if it's not organic, and then the seed receipts, I guess, was perhaps the first one. Non-GMO documentation. So this is for vegetable producers, it's often in the seed catalog. If you're using an inoculum, you need to make sure it's not GMO and have that in your file. If you're using, field crops, if you're buying grain, you need to make sure you get that as well. Your rotation plan, that's important. Your activity log, so this would include timing of your field operations, frequency, are you finger weeding, when did you do it, which fields did you go to. Fertility management, anything you're adding as an amendment, the application rate, so we have some idea of, what kind of, and then soil tests, that's not up there. Pest controls, application rate, compost records, that wasn't up there. So this, again, is temperature, taking the temperature, recording the number of times you turned and what dates. Any written communications you've had, such as previous land usage records, what you said, Tanya, the Karen control agreement, which I haven't encountered previously, but I know is very important. Letter of notification to your neighbors. Soil and water tests, harvest records, storage records, any in and out. Sales records and receipts. Any collector picker agreements. Cleaning logs for shared equipment. Equipment maintenance records. Packaging information. Sample labels, bills of lading and lot numbers. So you need to record a lot of information. However, don't be daunted. Livestock, sorry. Births, purchase of non-organic stock or organic, field feed and supplement receipts, health records for individual animals when they're larger, medication and treatment logs, parasite management plans, anything that your certification is granting you an exception for, and this relates to, in the standard when it says, animals shall have access to pasture, and this will be contingent on sort of regional conditions. Sales records, processing facility, verifying that they're doing your stuff the first of the day, that kind of record needs to be written. And I apologize, I haven't done very many livestock inspections, but so I know there's probably more out there. So this is a lot, but not every operation needs to do all of those things. In fact, you can have a very simple record-keeping system if you're only growing a few crops. If you're growing a lot, you can still have a system in place that's going to make it easy for us to look at what you've done and for you to keep track of what you're doing from year to year. Also, getting it set up one year, you'll make a few changes, but I mean, you can set up a system. It's going to save you time down the road, and it's going to make you more comfortable and prepared for your inspection. Audit trail. This is a little daunting to some people sometimes. Basically, this is, there's the tree at the bottom, goes in a jam, goes in the truck, goes to the store. This is, it's a documentation control procedure that's going to determine your origin, transfer of ownership, and it's basically your supply chain of organic products. So for growers, bag of potatoes, your apple, bag of salad greens, we need to be able to, when you're selling that at the market or wherever, to go back, we need to be able to find which field did you grow it in, when did you harvest it, what kind of inputs were given. So for animals, for larger animals anyway, you should be able to trace, the meat right back to the source. And for lots, the same thing with poultry, but it's lot with poultry. This is just a list of common mistakes that cause difficulties during inspection. This was off of the International Organic Inspectors Association website, but I think it's something that is fairly common. Failure to complete, and these are just the ones that relate to record keeping. So not completing your paperwork on time or at all, not submitting the things that you need to submit to your certifier, which causes challenges in the inspection, because we don't, we need to know what you've submitted, and we need you to be aware and have all those records ready for us. Not annually updating your plans from year to year. No organic seed search, which is required in the standard. It's a requirement now. And I know there's not organic seed available for absolutely everything under the sun, but you need to make sure that you've made an effort to source it, and it's very important. Misunderstanding with your certifier regarding inputs. You need to be clear, they need to be clear, you know, ingredient lists, whatever you need to send to them to get their approval. It's very important. Failure to follow your organic plan as filed, which isn't a big deal if we come and you said, well, you know, I was going to do turkeys this year, but I've decided not to, you know, and I mean, we'll just write that in our inspection report. The bigger thing would be like larger deviations from, you know, what you had said you were going to do. If we get there and we're not inspecting what we expect to be inspecting, it makes it difficult. Not using lot numbers, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. Not keeping field activity log up to date. Not reporting activities to clean and inspect your transport containers or vehicles. So when you're moving stuff, particularly, you know, larger volumes of crops or animal products, you need to document that you're cleaning your transportation container or vehicle. Incomplete cleaning logs for shared equipment. So this is if you're, you know, if somebody's doing some custom work for you, you need to document what you've done to make sure that you're not contaminating your field, your crop with somebody else's, with your conventional neighbors, you know, especially at seeding. And unclear or inaccurate maps. So we'll just move on to better systems.